Hello everyone, it is the Bronze Archer here, bringing you my 6th episode of my career mode at the Monte Carlo Grand Prix, or at Monaco, sorry. Sadly though, my parts did not come in, my downforce upgrade did not come and arrive, which is kind of a shame really, but you can't really do anything about it. And if you can hear something in the background, don't worry about it, it's just the washing machine going off, going at pretty much at full wick pretty much at the moment. Never mind, you can't really do anything about it. And as I'm having a look through some of the messages and stuff like that, as you can see, we're currently the 4th fastest car at the moment. Well, we're the 4th fastest car. We're not really, I wouldn't say we actually are the 4th fastest. I'd say we're probably a little bit behind Renault currently. Like, well, for Van Dorn clearly he is, but for me I'm not. So I'm going to pass you over to Anthony Davison and David Croft for practice introduction.
If there's one thing Formula One's most famous and challenging circuit probably didn't need, it was a damp and slippery track surface. It's time for a very tricky free practice session then, ahead of this weekend's Monaco Grand Prix. And I tell you what, Anthony Davidson, I think we're going to have some fairly anxious drivers in the cars today, as the conditions have not been kind at all for today's session.
Well, sat in the garage, maybe, I suppose. I mean, you'd always rather a nice dry circuit to run on. But as soon as you venture out onto the track, then any lingering nerves get left behind. The moment you start to become anxious in these cars, you tend to tighten up and become too digital in your inputs. This can not only cost you lap time, but also, if you're unlucky, send you on a one-way trip to the wall.
The practice establishment I've got for today is in the MP4-4 McLaren in the 1998 season, which was driven by Ayrton Senna and Alan Prost. I hope you guys enjoy a lap of Monaco at night. So now let's go on to the modern day car lap. This is my qualifying run, as you can see here. Pretty good run through turn 1 car, a little bit of the curve, turned by mistake, but you can't do anything about it. Turn up into 7th gear, flat out, down into the 5th, 4th gear, stay around on the outside, down to 3rd gear, now down the hill we go. Down to the first of 2 hairpins, we're going down to the lowest hairpin, all the way down to 1st gear. Touch the curb on the inside, get yourself a straighter exit. So you have some of the curb on the inside of the next turn. You get a pretty bad line though through there, so just pretty much all about just straight lining it, just trying to go as fast as possible throughout the tunnel. As now, as you can see, I'm losing a little bit of time to the Ferrari of Vettel. He's now going through chicane to quite a lot of the curb. And catch right up now up into down the 2nd fastest at the moment. Going out of the chicane, using a lot of curb on the outside, getting a little bit tail happy, taking quite a lot of the curb by mistake yet again. Turned a little bit too early, which is my mistake, getting locked up the front right there. Going through to the final turn, using up all the curb on the outside. Flat out, down the straight we go. And I came in P2, only just though. We've outset the exact same time. So I'm going to pass you over to Anthony Davison, David Croft for the race introduction.
A proper road race, and in the true meaning of the word. That was how Mr. Monaco, the late great Graham Hill, once described this iconic event. The cars we drive have come a long way in the intervening half-century, but still we race on those same public roads beside the Mediterranean Sea. There's no victory more coveted than that of the Monaco Grand Prix. We're on the French Riviera once more this weekend at the 2-mile-long Circuit de Monaco. The cars climb around 40 metres up through Beau Rivage, onto the casino, and then descending down towards the harbour through Sector 2. It's a very short run from pole position to the first of the 19 corners here, 7 to the left and 11 to the right. There's one single DRS zone as well, so don't expect that to make overtaking any easier today. Anthony Davidson joins me again for the race today. Now I want to ask you about Romain Grosjean. As ever, the threat of unreliability is never far away, and indeed they'll be starting out of position today due to a power unit component change. So it's going to be a difficult task to move forward from there.
Everyone has to deal with penalties or reliability issues from time to time throughout their career. You just have to suck up the pain and get on with the job at hand. Today isn't about performing a miracle to put the car back where it should be. It's about effective damage limitation.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Sebastian Vettel has a clear track ahead of him today. He starts in pole position, and the Rainmaster completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Ricciardo, Valtteri Bottas, and Raikkonen, Verstappen, Sainz, Hülkenberg, and Charles Leclerc. Gasly, Van Dorn, Romain Grosjean. They've taken a grid penalty. And Perez, Ocon, Ericsson, Sergei Sirotkin, and Lance Stroll, Magnussen, and Brendan Hartley rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Okay, don't try anything silly into one. It's going to be crazy in there. Just do your best to stay out of trouble.
As you can see there, I'm doing a 2-stop race today for this, just to give it a little bit of a better opportunity. Now let's get ready for the race start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights, and we're off and away we go. I don't get a pretty mess start to stay behind Vettel. Then I try and figure out a way to go around on the inside of him, and I do, which is pretty good. So that's the start of the race, and for me, and I'm currently in the lead. So now we're going to go on to lap number 3 here. Vettel's in my slipstream. He goes on to my outside here. I just keep it though, and that's all good. Then nothing really happens from then on really, which is kind of a shame. As now we're going on to lap number 12, which is when I was coming into the pit lane. As you can see here, nothing's happened since. So I come into the pits, get my tyres changed, hit the limiter perfectly, going down the pit lane, down this very long, well, it's this rather short pit lane, but it's a long pit lane for the speed limiter anyway. You can see it in nice good old tyre change, holding up the holding the throttle, but I didn't quite accidentally let go of the paddle by mistake, so I went into neutral and had to quickly put it back into first gear. You can see it, I come out just ahead of Stoffel Van Dorn, my teammate. So I pretty much just take that time to go across the yellow line by mistake, but nothing to really do about it. Then on the following lap, I just get out ahead of Bottas. That could have ended very, very badly for me. I literally just mashed the throttle on the exit just to hope I could actually get ahead. Then later that lap, I do my qualifying line and go up on the inside of Charles Leclerc, who actually is for race position. He was in P3 at this point in time for Sauber, which is impressive. But then we get a safety car on lap number 33. As you see, I'm just driving around, just don't know whether to actually come for the pit stop or not, but I eventually choose not to, because I just realised it's probably going to waste me more time than it would be any good. As if you can hear that washing machine start going off again, I'm so sorry, but I can't really do anything about it. And now I'm just going around the track, just going a little bit too fast, hitting some of the curbs. Try and just take it carefully. What I do here is I literally put the ERS to off, like completely just turn it off, and go right down to lean mixture just to save fuel. As we're going on to the end of the safety car period, I'm now holding up the field back. So what I like to do is I like to try and bunch up the entire field up together. So that means I have people at the back and get an opportunity to overtake people a little bit further forward than them, or like a little bit ahead. So now I mash the throttle on the exit of the chicane, go down to Rascas, lock up there a little bit because the tyres are rather cold. As you can see, yeah, like almost complete. Literally, the indicator for the carcass temperature is completely blue. So you can see there, pretty much froze my tyres pretty much. It means I get extra life out of them, which is all good. As now we're going on to lap number 44, which is when I came in for my second and final. Well, it was originally my second and final stop. But then something really quite interesting happens. I didn't realise I actually had any front wing damage, but clearly the game thought I did. And so as you can see there, guy holding a front wing. I was like wondering, what the hell? Like, why are you changing my front wing? So then obviously that means I lost the place to Raikkonen and then Verstappen, or the Ricciardo, sorry. As now I come out behind the Mercedes and all that. So then I make a dive bomb on the end of that lap on the inside Daniel Ricciardo. So my next target is Valtteri Bottas, which I will not make an overtake until I think it's going to be lap number 46 for that much. So I'm going down into the two hairpins of Mirabeau and Hotel Lowe's. And I'm braking up on the inside, make a diving manoeuvre, lock up both front tyres, and actually mount the curb and get the overtake done by short shifting into second gear to keep traction. Next target is Kai, who's on pole position, who sadly is all the way down in P6 at the moment. Sebastian Vettel, he pulls away from me in the straight, so let's make a dive bomb manoeuvre, go across the curb, push straight out the wheel to force him out wide. And now I make a dive bomb manoeuvre up on the inside, Hamilton on lap number 47 there. Go mounting the curb again. Now on lap number 48, onto lap number 48. So you see there's Kimi Raikkonen. I have a little look, see what I can do. I'm in the turbulent test, it's going to cause front wing damage or like aero damage. Go for a new serving. And then on the end of lap number 48, I try to make a dive bomb maneuver on the inside Perez. That's a quite tight line. He damages his front wing and just gives me the opportunity to overtake him nice and easily. So there we go, another place for me. Then on lap number 57, it's taking me quite a while to catch up to the back of Leclerc and the Sauber. Yes, Leclerc's having a very, very good day at the moment, isn't he? Clearly. Up into P2. And I'm racing with the McLaren as I make a dive bomb maneuver across the curb. So he might have hit the wall there a little bit, I don't know, but it looked like he might have. So on to lap number 64. I talk amongst trying to lap people. I make a dive bomb overtake on the inside, mount the curb, and get the overtake done. So she's pretty good. Mounting. Down lap number 71, I actually got a puncture, so I had to come to the pit lane. As you can see there, I'm quite a fair distance behind Ricciardo. Down to lap number 73. I catch up to him, make a dive bomb smack against the wall there, causing the car to bounce. So you can see I'm going to make a dive bomb maneuver on the inside Hulkenberg into the swimming pool chicane. As you can see there's Max Verstappen. I lock up. I get a pretty good exit though. And I brake a little bit later, force him out wide. I make a push through a Tokyo Drift-esque maneuver and get past him on the end of lap number 73. As now you can see I'm just trying to pull away and go down here, and yeah, that's all she wrote. Then a few turns later, you see as Valtteri Bottas go over the curbing, just trying to keep up nice and close behind him. Now Push plant the throttle, put up into hot lap mode to finish get the best boost. Sorry, as I can see here, just having a look on the inside. I suppose as Vettel tries to go around the outside of Hartley, I make contact with Bottas. She gives Vettel a little bit of a slow run. I back out just so I don't know if I make an intake on the inside, I'm going to crash. But then a few turns later, I make a massive dive bomb maneuver into the second half of the swing pool chicane. So this just need to make these overtakes nice and quickly to be able to get up to Raikkonen and overtake him as quickly as possible. As the car makes an error there, so I do actually end up using a flashback, which I don't really mind admitting to. I do use them every now and then just because it was kind of a BS maneuver from Gasly's part. As I'll make a dive bomb maneuver on the inside of Kimi Raikkonen onto that number 76. Then 2 laps later, I come down the soft finish straight to finish the race in first. So I'm going to pass you over to Anthony Davidson and David Croft for the podium celebrations.
So, another fantastic victory for McLaren today. And I have to wonder, Anthony Davidson, just what set them apart from the competition here?
Well, they played the safety car to absolute perfection. There are so many factors to worry about once the race is neutralised. I mean, do you pit for fresh rubber? Do you have the space behind you? How much fuel can you save? If you answer all of those questions correctly, you'll have a good chance. And that's exactly what happened today.
And as the adrenaline dies down after another eventful Grand Prix, here come the top 3 out onto the podium. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. Well, the lead at the top has come down after a poor result for our points leader. And now I'd like to ask you, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
I'm going to say Brendan Hartley. It was probably one of his best drives this season, and I was thoroughly impressed.
And now let's take a look at the constructors' standings. Ferrari extend their lead at the top of the championship. After all this drama, you'd be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
Good day today. Tell us about it from your perspective. How are you feeling after that win? Things are looking up after last week, aren't they? Your team must be ecstatic with how you're performing. Another podium. You must be getting used to it up there. Great. Well, that's everything.
Pretty good result, I think, for the team today. For me anyway, it's a very good result. I didn't think I was going to do that well at Monaco, but kind of at the same time I thought, well, I might be able to make a good. I might be able to maybe get the first 2-3 rows, and maybe might be able to get a podium. But I managed to get a front row start next to Sebastian Vettel, and I was actually set the exact same time as him, because I was in theory one of the fastest cars on the grid. As you can see, my reputation with McLaren's gone up, so it's all good. And if you guys have enjoyed this episode, as I now choose to make another chassis upgrade, which will be arriving for Austria. Like I say, if you guys have enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and if you think my content is worth subscribing to, please subscribe and hit the notification bell for each time I get upload a video. But on this weekend coming up, I might not upload any videos at all because I will be away doing some things over the weekend, so just I'll let you know. But thank you, and the Bronze Archer signing out. Peace.